Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's Manana of Purna Yoga. We are right now on chapter 3, Karma Yoga, and today we will start with the contemplation based on question number 6. What are the benefits of performing yajna? Some suggestions or pointers are given here. Chittashuddhi, purification of ego, focus, Prasada bhava, success, inner and outer, bliss in doing. So this is the question. So in our last session, we have focused on what is yajna. The whole of the Karma Yoga is about meditative action. And to that, we have related the concept of the yajna. And now we will contemplate on what is the benefit of this yajna. When we perform anything with the yajna bhava, what is the benefit or what are the benefits? That is a question. Shall we begin with Krishna ji?
Yeah. Okay. So benefits of performing yajna. So as we know, like yajna is performing selfless action, and it's in harmony with the universe, like every other beings are doing without any expectation or not being attached to the results. So while performing this, what happens and what are the benefits is, since we are in harmony, so the even though we do this, so we have the impressions been attached or like imprinted. So the purification of that happens, which means like it will not be kind of removed as such, but the intensity of the impressions would be quite less with, when we perform each and every action, and thus we are in harmony, and also one would get blessing of devatas, uh, the consciousness which is like maintaining this harmony and being aligned with every aspect. The sun is rising and sunset, and water is flowing and other things. So thus it will reduce our impression, and we would contribute, or like we would be consistently able to perform yajna, and we also being in the harmony with devatas, and we would do every action which has been imprinted with the yajna bhava, and thus there would not be any still more compulsiveness actions, uh, which we want to which we are like compulsorily doing it without kind of control. So that kind of purification happens in our imprints when we perform yajna. So and thus it will lead to the ultimate, I mean, being with the consciousness and performing kayaka ve kailasa in every work. It's not like when I do work and outcome of it becoming a bliss or happiness. Performing any action as a yajna with full focus in the bliss would happen. When those are the benefits, that's how I'm seeing these things.
Very nice. Would you like to touch upon these benefits that have been suggested here or listed here? Chitta Shuddhi,
Uh,
you have touched upon it in your discussion, in your manana, but would you like to call out each one of them and then share what is your view on them?
yeah, like so chitta suddhi is like that's what I was referring as the impression. So there would be reasoning attached to it, and impressions, I mean, these are the karmic footprints we have, and also we have gathered reasoning behind for every object we see in this world. So example, like this person, this kind of style or this kind of skin tone would do this. So those things will be already kind of a registered registry in our thing. So once we do this yajna bhava, so we are also like saying we are all one. So those whatever beings we interact with, they are with that princess. We are basically de-learning. kind of thing, unlearn or de-learn or unlearn. So that happens in chittashuddhi. Purification of ego is like we are already attached to this one, but through yajna we are uh, not being attached to the sensory object or for this temporary bliss or happiness. Through that, like to continuous performing of yajna, so the intensity is reduced. So and thus purification happens. And
Sorry for interrupting you.
uh,
The indication you are giving for purification of ego is more of
mm,
when you are saying that, okay, you are not attached to the fruits of your action. But what does
mm.
purification of ego itself suggest to you, or what does it mean to you?
Ego is like I have been referred as like to this name and this body, those things, right? So, but once I perform yajna, I'm from coming from the context of I'm the consciousness and I am being an instrument, not really this. I'm also doing the action with the help of, I mean, not only, it's not completely by me, whatever I do. So, thus, so I've been not attached to this body mind. And so there will be no ego. When I've been like, this is me, then only the ego comes. So that's how I put it.
But whenever you are performing any action, even to perform so-called action of seva.
Mm.
So, for example, in a setting, imagine somebody comes to you and says, "Can you please help me learn, say some subject that you are good with?" There,
Mm.
you have to assume the role of a someone who can teach. So, like a teacher. So that is also a ego, right?
Yeah, but I would not like being attached to the result, and also, but I'm utilizing this as an instrument, but not being really attached to this. I'm good in science or those things. Though we are good, but it's not only because of me; it's other forces also, right? So then our identification of this, I know science, I'm good in science, not only is because of me, it's with other sources, devatas, which is helping me. So that's where the purification. That's how I understood.
That's how you're seeing it. Excellent. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so other focus, prasada, bhava, success. So it's all outcome of this thing I'm seeing. So that increases focus. So and success and bliss also. Bliss, since we are not been attached, so we are in happy state and we are in always contributing state. Yeah,
Thank you.
these are my introduction. Yeah. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Nitish.
Thank you. Padma Amma?
ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಯಜ್ಞದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಂತರ್ಯಜ್ಞ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಾಹ್ಯ ಯಜ್ಞ. ಬಾಹ್ಯ ಯಜ್ಞ ಪಂಚಯಜ್ಞಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಂತರ್ಯಜ್ಞ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೂಲಾಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಪ್ರಾಣಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ಆಜ್ಞಾ ಚಕ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸಹಸ್ರಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸೋದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ಮಗಳು ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಏನ್ ತಂದಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅದರದ್ದು ಸಿವಿಯಾರಿಟಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಇದು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು. ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧವನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ತೀಕ್ಷ್ಣತೆ ತೀವ್ರತೆಯನ್ನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅಂತರ್ಯಜ್ಞದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಎರಡು ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಮೊದಲು ಚಿತ್ತ ಶುದ್ಧಿ. ಚಿತ್ತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಕರಣವೇ. ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಶುದ್ಧಿಯಾಗುವುದು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ವಾಸನೆಗಳು, ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಿ ಹೋಗಿರುತ್ತವೆ. ಕರ್ಮ ಯೋಗವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ 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 ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕರ್ಮದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಅದು ನಿಷ್ಕಾಮ ಕರ್ಮವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ, ಆ, ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಆ, ಕ್ಲೇಶಗಳು ಯಾವುದು ಬೇಡದೇ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕಸಗಳೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಸನೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾನು ಕರ್ತೃ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಭೋಕ್ತ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಕೇವಲ ನಾನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಿಯಾಮಕ, ನನ್ನ ಮೂಲಕ ನಾನು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ವಾಸನೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಹೊರಟೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಚಿತ್ತಶುದ್ಧಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಯೂರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಈಗೋ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇನೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಾನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮೊದಲು ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದಲೇ ಸಂಕಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಾನು ದೇಹ, ನಾನು ಮನಸ್ಸು, ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮರ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ದೆ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮಾಡ್ತು, ಈ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ಈಗೋ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಂದು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಈಗೋನ ಹೇಗೆ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನನ್ನ ಉದ್ಧಾರಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೂ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಹಾಳಾಗೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗ ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನೋ ಆವಾಗ ನಾನು ಅಧಪತನಕ್ಕೆ ಇಳಿತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಅದು ಏನಿದ್ರು ಈ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿಯೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಆವಾಗ ಉದ್ಧಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಎನ್ನುವುದು ನನಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸೀಮಿತವಾಗಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಸಾರ್ವತ್ರಿಕವಾಗಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಆ ನಾನು ಅನ್ನುವುದು ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದು ಯಾವುದು ಒಂದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದು ಲೋಕಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಇವಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಯೆಯನ್ನು ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಗುರುಜಿ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಒಂದು ಕಾಫಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನನ್ನ ದೇಹದಿಂದ ನಾನು ಕೈಯನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನ ಡೀಟೈಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು, ಆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಂದನೇ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾಲು, ಸಕ್ಕರೆ, ಕಾಫಿ ಪುಡಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಸಹ ನೇಚರಿಂದನೇ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ನಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವುದೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದಾಗ ಓ ನಾನು ಹೀಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಇವನ್ ನಾವು ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಅನಾಟಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ವಾಲಂಟರಿ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ವಾಲಂಟರಿ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಲಂಟರಿ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಮಾಡುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ನಾನು ಓಡಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ವಾಲಂಟರಿ ಆಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೀಟ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಬೇರೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಇನ್ವಾಲಂಟರಿ ಆಗಿ ಅದು ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದೇ ಅದು ನಿಯಮ. ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಾನು ಅನ್ನುವುದು ಏನೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕರ್ತೃತ್ವ ಮತ್ತೆ ಭೋಕ್ತೃತ್ವ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಷ್ಕಾಮ ಕರ್ಮವನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಭಾವ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದು ಏನೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ್ಲಿ ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದಾಗ್ಲಿ, ನಂಗೇನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದು ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿದ್ರೆ, ನನಗೆ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಅಂತ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾತಕ್ಕಾಯ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಚಿಂತೆ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಬಂದಿದೆಯೋ ಅದು ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾನು, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ನಾನೇನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಂದಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಾನೇನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದಿರಲ್ಲ, ಹೋಗುವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಾನು ಏನೂ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾನಿದು ಗಳಿಸಿರ್ಬಹುದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಂತಹ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಂತರಂಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಶುದ್ಧವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಾಹ್ಯದಲ್ಲೂ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ವಿಜಯಿಗಳು ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಪದ್ಮಮ್ಮ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್.
ಸ್ಮಿತಾಜಿ.
Like everybody said, yajna is, we have understood in the last class, the yajna is, what is yajna? When we perform yajna, the Guruji mentions about how it helps us, or what are the benefits of performing yajna. Chittashuddhi. Our chitta is chitta is consciousness. Chittashuddhi means purification of consciousness. Our consciousness is clouded by our day-to-day thoughts, our ego, our desires, our memories, our habits that we and our likes that we accumulate, right? In that, by performing yajna, you are delineating both of them between or removing all these thoughts and making it pure consciousness. Purification of ego is the I, the self. The clear, once you have understood who am I, the clear picture of the entire process in the way of our doing our duty is, that is part of the circle, and you are not like the sowing of the seed or the plant growing. The farmer is only may think, oh, I made this plant, or I grew this plant, it is my plant or my field, but it is contribution from a million of, it could be all the earthworm to the rain to the weather to the wind, everything is contributing to it. So that realization removes away the ego, that yes, I am a contributor, I am a doer, but I am only a part of the whole doing. Focus again in the same aspect of when you are saying I am part of the doing, and the realization is that I have to do my bit. While we are also removing all of this, if all of this doesn't happen, I have to play my part, and that is what the focus is all about. That you are looking at everything not from a result, but whatever comes towards me is through gratefulness and acceptance of that as a prasada bhava, that this is what I will receive or I get. So this is my understanding.
How do you relate to the idea of the success, inner and outer?
The success, inner and outer, is more of how we perceive. Again, if you are considering it as prasada bhava, you are not looking at it only from a result perspective. Oh, I got so much money, or I won this, but you are more seeing it from a contribution, right? You said that I have done my best, so you feel bliss, or you feel happy in the contribution that you have put in, and hence it has contributed to the whole thing. So the farmer is happy that he has contributed in growing these plants, or growing these, sowing the, in the overall part of it. That's success. And the enjoyment attained during the action, creative, while doing the performing your duty, is itself giving you that inner success, the bliss that you are getting. I am doing my work, I am happy and involved in my work, in my performing my duty, gives you that inner happiness.
And how do you connect it to purification of the ego?
When you are involved in your inner happiness, when you are involved in your duty and you are performing you are giving your best in doing what you're doing, and you're detached from the result, then you are not so concerned about you're not concerned about, but you're giving your 100%, you're giving your best in doing your work. Then rest, there are so many forces that are coming together to make it happen. So then you're also not overburdening yourself in saying that, okay, all this didn't whether something happened or did not happen, and taking the stress also at one end, and taking the merit, taking the credit also for it, both ways. So you are not you are detaching yourself from that outcome, as that is you're letting go that. So you're only focusing on what you can do and what you can contribute to, and you're leaving the rest to the other forces that are also at play in the universe.
And that is what you see as purification of the ego, is it?
Yes, because you are not your not focus is not, oh, I, me, myself, and saying I am doing this, I have only done all of this, I am the contributor, I am I am the creator, or I have created this, and you have given up that ego, and then you are living in that harmonious state that, okay, the you are in that, out of that loop, I am that I have done this is caused by me, both in a positive action or even in a negative action, or something bad happens, right? Then you are not thinking continuously. So coming out of that is the purification of the ego, saying that yes, you are important, you are part of it, but you're only a contributor to it.
Excellent. Anything more you would like to say?
No, that's all.
Thank you, Smitaji. Padmaji?
Yes, I think everyone has touched upon the important aspects. So, chittashuddhi happens through yajna. By that, what we mean is selfishness dissolves, as our actions are based on service to others. It is not only for the self, but for the well-being of everyone around us. That which uplifts us and others. And it has to be performed with the understanding that I am not the doer, or God is the doer. And when I am not the doer, then the attachment to the result of that action is not there, or is considerably reduced. There is no expectation that this is what should be the outcome of that action. And when there is no expectation about the outcome of the action, anything that comes as a result of that action is a prasadam, or it is fully accepted as it is. We don't judge a prasadam, right? When we receive a prasada in a temple, there is no judgment about the taste or whether I like it or not. It is just a blessing that we have received because we visit that place. So every result of our action becomes like that. We don't judge it, whether it is positive, whether it is negative, it is good for me. All these things are absent. So the action itself becomes like an offering to God. And when we have full acceptance, what happens is there is also a trust that whatever has come is in my best interest, is for my best, or is for my evolution. So this results in success in the inner and outer. What do I mean by inner and outer here? So when there is inner success, the result is happiness, love, and peace. Uh, because what drives our inner happiness is the four aspects: the mind, the intellect, the ego, and all this functioning because of the senses is what is driving our inner things and what we are not comfortable with. So when our actions are done in this way, there is only uh, love and peace for everyone. Because of love for others only, we are able to offer it as a service. And by outer success, what we mean is there is no judgment of whether it is for our gain or loss, outer gain or loss, what we get materially. All these things, comparison with the outer world doesn't matter anymore. It is not for that what we do. So, yeah, yes, sir. This is how I understand.
Thank you, Padmaji. It is said that the universe is in constant yajna. So when you see that idea, just look at it in a very personal way. We also know Pancha Mahayagna, the 5 great yagnas. See, you have 5 senses. And through the senses, streams of sensations are coming. And those sensations go through the various layers of your mind and ultimately get consumed by the fire of the awareness. Whatever sensation that is coming in, through the 5 senses, what you are seeing, what you are hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, these then flow through the mind and ultimately causes knowing. I know this, I recognize this. And that comes because it has come in touch with the fire of the awareness, which is who you are. So in that way, yajna is, all these are getting consumed by the fire of the awareness. Nothing else. So there is a constant yajna. Whatever that is an offering to the awareness, the fire of the awareness in you. When you recognize this, that naturally leads to all the benefits that all of you have already touched upon in such great detail. And the fundamental block to recognize this is a separate sense of I-ness. The sense of I, that is what ego is. The sense of I. Ego means what? Aham. Aham, I am, is very natural, innate, sahaja. There is nothing right or wrong about it. It is the very nature. However, aham, akara, ahankara, who I think I am. And where is that thinking happening? In some unknown place called as mind. And the ego connects it to my mind, connects it to my memories. So there is a kind of a boundary in a boundaryless reality. Much like how you and I claim certain space as my house. What is my house? In an unlimited space, you and I have built a wall and said, my house, your house. My street, your street. My country, your country. Where is it? It is purely by construction of this so-called wall. Similarly, in the unknown place called mind, which is boundaryless by itself, there is a sense of boundary that you and I create by projecting this I to be a limited I. This I, which is unlimited, which itself is infinite, is projected within the confines of that instrument, and it is given a shape. I am an Indian. I am a man. I am born there. I am going to die here. So all these are essentially constructs that are born out of various kinds of thinking patterns I have gathered. How did you know that your name is such and such? Because of various impressions that have come to you. And out of those impressions, you have selectively chosen. Please notice, you have received impressions about various names, including your true name, that you are nameless. However, you have chosen to get fixated on some part of all the impressions that have come to you. And that causes all the turmoil. You have accepted that you are born. You have accepted that you are going to die. Which you or which I am going to die, which I was born, that may or may not be examined, but there's an acceptance. Oh, I have come and I'll go. Which I has come and which I will go. I is constantly coming and going. You're constantly in different roles. In front of your husband, you are a wife. In front of your child, you are a mother or a father. Or in front of your boss, you are an employee. On the road, you are a citizen. Your I is constantly changing. It's a minute by moment, depending upon the circumstances. Especially in a gathering, if you notice, there may be hundreds of people. With each one, you're constantly switching your roles. So the I is constantly coming and going, coming and going. There is nothing more or less about it. So in a way, it's constantly taking birth and dying. That is the nature of the reality. But there is a sense of body identification or the akara identification. And with that akara, there is a misconception that, oh, because the akara is coming and going, I is also coming and going. Ego, aham akara. The akara in the aham akara, the akara constantly is morphing. Look at the beauty of it. It is like that gelatin. That gelatin has no particular shape. It constantly is jiggling. It's constantly changing. It is constantly taking different shapes and forms. The akara is like that. But the aham, I-ness, is the constant phenomena. This has to be identified clearly. And with that identification, that I am not any of these names and forms. However, there is an instrument through which this has to be right now focused, then what do I make use of this instrument for? As that pure I, there is nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to gain, nothing to lose. You are complete. Then what is that I have to offer? It is like, why would a cuckoo bird sing? Simply because it can. Why would the sun shine? Because simply that it is nature. So like that, you are a source of infinite energy, which when it is brought out can create any shapes and forms. What shape and form you want to create? Because with every shape and form, there is going to be some other shape and form. And if the shapes and forms are in conflict with each other, then it's going to create friction. And that is going to create a sense of dissonance in the place called mind. Is that what you seek? Then that is how the actions will be. However, what is the natural guna of you as that pure awareness, as that Atman, as that pure being? You have a very natural tendency towards love, harmony, kindness. Please notice, there is not something that is somebody coming and telling you or teaching you. You have a very natural sense of harmony, natural sense of peace. You gravitate towards all these things. That is very natural within you. So then, what shapes and forms should I create? Whatever shape and form I create, when it is harmonious with rest everything, then there is no more dissonance. There is only resonance. So the resonance means what? There is no more I and the others. What is resonance? When two things are vibrating at the same frequency. There is no more different frequencies. They both are at the same right frequency. So there is no more a separation. There is no more a separation. Because they both are fundamentally vibrating the same thing. That is all the benefit that you receive. That you can express as all these different benefits. And that is the greatness of Bhagavadgita. That is the greatness of the teaching by the Sadguru. That it helps you and me to recognize the natural resonance and to come out of the so-called dissonance. The dissonance is simply a wrong perception-based dissonance. There is actually no dissonance. It's only in the thinking that there seems to be differences. Otherwise, there is only harmony and resonance. Hari Om.
ತುಂಬಾ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್.
Thank you, Amma.
Vijay, I have one clarification.
Yes.
I'm just asking the question. Yeah. So, so we are already bliss, right? So when we say, then why there is an ignorance occurring and why there is this learning happens and then again we are getting to that oneness. Uh, if we are an instrument and we are being like controlled or monitored, then it can be like that kind of It can be one instance, right? Like everybody can become into a conscious being and do all yajna bhava things can come to at one shot, right? Because this body is already created by it has impressions, and that is we are the observant consciousness. Then consciousness is having that powerfulness. Why we have to do these things and go wrong ways and come back and again join back? Why there can't be one solution or
So,
one thing?
at a very simple functional level, imagine Ramayana. Rama came. Rama was appointed as the king, and he did all his kingly activities very peacefully. Everyone in his kingdom were peaceful. There was zero theft. There was zero murder, no masala at all. And Rama one day died. If let's say Valmiki had written this Ramayana, would you and I pay money and go to the movie theater and watch such a movie? So Ramayana is Ramayana for you and me because of all the various ups and downs that he went through, but still he remained in resonance. So from a functional viewpoint, that's the beauty of life. What is the source of the ignorance? It cannot be answered. Why? So I would like to show you a picture. With that, it will be easier to understand what is meant by that. What is ignorance? Now, look at the bottom side of the
Hello.
picture. Am I audible?
Sorry, I lost for 10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. Are you able to see the picture, Krishnaji?
It was, sorry.
Krishnaji, are you there?
Yeah, Appara, yeah. Appara knowledge.
Can you see this picture?
I'm there. Yeah, I'm able to see.
Okay, all right. So let's say all the knowledge in the world is represented as a circle. Okay. And that's what the circle is representing. Now, in this circle, what you and I claim as what I know physics, I know math, I know Kannada, I know programming, I know commerce. Like that, you and I can claim something that you and I say as I know, right? I'm knowledgeable in that. I know how to cook. I know how to dance. I know how to ride cycle. I know how to talk to people. Something like that. What you and I can generally call as stuff that you and I know. The stuff that you and I know, just by mere observation of life, can easily recognize that you and I know something, definitely. But there are so many things that the others are showing. For example, I don't know how for example, a cuckoo bird sings and how other cuckoo birds get attracted to it. I don't know how to sing like a cuckoo bird. I don't know what makes it work. So just a simple observation of in and around you, of other people. Some people can sing so well. When I sing, people may call it as stop your Gardaba Gana. You know what is a Gardaba? Krishnaji, do you know
No,
who is a Gardaba?
no, I don't know.
Gardaba is Mr. Donkey.
Okay.
So they will say, please stop your Gardaba Gana. Okay, so like that, I don't know how to sing. So like that, just mere observation of people around me tells me that there are so many things that I don't know. Okay. Now, when I notice like that, Some of the things I can say that I don't know. Okay, because I see them doing. If somebody comes and asks, do you know how to run marathon? I say, I don't know. But I know a little bit about marathon, but I know that I don't know how to run in marathon. Okay. So like that, this second slice shows something of knowledge that I know that I don't know. This green slice shows what I know. This slice shows what I know I don't know. But now let me ask you the question. What you don't know, you don't even know. You don't even know what you don't know. And can you even say how much of it is that you don't know? If, let's say, for example, for the 6th grade, there is math and there is a book given and it says 12 chapters are there. And I have read 2 chapters. I can simply say that I know 2 chapters, I don't know another 10 chapters. So 2 chapters I know, 10 chapters I don't know. But can I know what I don't know in mathematics? I don't. I don't know what all is there in mathematics. So therefore, ignorance is of this nature. This is ignorance. I don't know what I don't know. I also don't know from when it began. See, for example, somebody comes and says, have you been to Katrapi? You'll look at them. Katrapiya. What is Katrapi? Any idea, Krishnaji?
No idea. Maybe I have to do Google search.
So, Katrapi could be some idiot like me saying some nonsense word. Or Katrapi could be some place. Or Katrapi could be some movie. Or Katrapi could be some, restaurant. By the way, just the other day, we went to a restaurant and the restaurant's name is Fur. If somebody had come and said, do you know Fur? I would have felt, yeah, Fur. When a bird flies away, it is like Fur. I didn't know that there's a restaurant called Fur. So when they said, let's go to Pur, I'm thinking, why are we going to Pur? We should go to a restaurant with a good name. What is this Pur? So then when I went there, then I realized it is a Fur. But they said it as Pur. So like that, there's all sorts of things that I don't even know what I don't know. And I don't know from when I don't know.
ನಿಮ್ ಪರ್ಸ್ ಫುರ್
Huh?
ನಿಮ್ ಪರ್ಸ್ ಫುರ್
ಪರ್ಸು ಫುರ್ರು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲು because one they called it as some coffee. They have exotic names for everything. Okay, it's basically cold coffee with some coffee grains in it and a little bit of cream on top of it, and that thing is almost like 350 rupees. Okay, so purse also was fur, correct? Very nice, Amma. So like that it is. But I don't know from when I don't know. When they asked me, then I came to know that I don't know. So from this big circle, the circle of I don't know, I don't even know that I didn't know. From there, it became, oh, I don't know what is this place called Fur. Then when I went there, now if somebody comes and says, have you been to Fur? I know Fur. Okay. But there's also another magic. They also serve there a dessert called as Fur. So very, very funny thing. The restaurant name is Fur. They have a dessert called Fur. And the dessert is really nice. It is rabdi. Okay. It is pure rabdi, like a mountain of lava. And that dessert, that rabdi with a little bit of, ice cream and chocolate, is like, awesome. So I'm also, doing a free marketing for food. But anyway, coming back. So like this, I don't know what I don't know. So it is impossible to answer from when I don't know. But what I know now for sure is, day before yesterday, I came to know about 4. That much I can clearly now say. But from when I did not know about 4, no answer. Why? I didn't even know that I didn't know. So that is what is said in Vedanta. Ignorance. From when the ignorance began cannot be answered. There are some unanswerable questions in life, Krishnaji. Motte first, Koli first. Which one came first?
I don't know.
So
Who
take a
knows?
guess, which one came first? So
Maybe not sure.
if the chicken has to be there, there has to be a motte, no? So it is impossible to answer. So that is why the word sahaja is a wonderful word. Sahaja. Sahaja. Ja means what? To take birth. Jati. Janma. Jara. See, ja. Ja means that which has taken birth. Okay. So Brahmopadesham is, and the wearing of that Yagnopavita is called as Janivara. So ja means to take birth. Sahaja means that which has simultaneously taken birth. So you cannot have this came first and then this came. That linear thinking is not possible there. It is sahaja, simultaneously born. Ignorance is sahaja. End of the ignorance. Janivara. Janivara. That I am someone who is born and I am someone who is going to die. That can be nivara. That can be removed. That is the true essence of Janivara. That by wearing that Yagnopavita, I gain that knowledge, which was what I call as ignorance. Removal of that ignorance, that knowledge is the Atmajnana. That knowledge, wearing of that knowledge is real Janivara. That is the real Brahmopadesham. And when that knowledge is established, then my intellect is not going to waver. My intellect then is going to be making the right decisions. Earlier, the intellect would make decisions based on the ignorance that I am a body and mind. But once when the Atmajnana awakens and is established, then the intellect is no more deluded. So the end of the ignorance is certain. It can be identified. Beginning of the ignorance is unknown. So first of all, does this clarify your initial question?
Yeah.
Okay. So because there is ignorance, there is a wrong thinking. And because there is wrong thinking, what is wrong thinking? That I am a body and mind thinking. Because there is a body and mind thinking, there is wrong action. What is wrong action? That which creates dissonance. However, what is right thinking? That I am not the body and the mind. So that is the fundamental basis of how a Sadguru is compassionate even to the most so-called sinner. You know the story of Angulimala and Buddha. Everybody told Buddha, that fellow, Angulimala, murderer, he is a cruel person. He is the worst of the mankind. Don't even go there. But the compassion of Buddha, what is compassion of Buddha? There is no more dissonance that I and you are there. There is only resonance. And Buddha has recognized that this world is dukkha, but there is an end of the suffering. Buddha was asked about, Buddha never taught about something called as a God. Buddha only taught about this world is anicca, dukkha. This world is nothing but dukkha. Means what? It is the one which is causing the suffering. Anicca means it is constantly flowing. So he said, there is an end of the suffering. I will teach you the end of the suffering. Because once the suffering, what is the cause of the suffering? The wrong idea that I am something. I am a form. Aham akara. The akara, I am akara, some akara is the cause of the suffering. So when that ignorance is removed, then what remains is the pure being. And that pure being has no beginning, no end. There is no boundary. So in the Angulimala, there is a Buddha. Like today's Karma Yoga shlokas, when you chanted, it pointed at the same idea. So here, see here. So the mind and the intellect are the breeding grounds of the desire. What is Sri Krishna saying here? It is a wrong understanding that is lodged in the mind, which is actually masking the true self. So the true self is always there, is always pure. So the Buddha in the Angulimala is always there, is always pure. But the idea called I am Angulimala is what is masking that Buddhatva. So therefore, Buddha's compassion is natural. It is not a, oh, I have to serve others. It is not a compassion born out of such a thinking. It is quite natural. So thus, the ignorance of Angulimala dissolves and Buddha is born. So Buddhatva is your true nature. The Angulimala is because of the wrong understanding. Is this bringing clarity?
Yeah.
All right. Is there any other question or anything else anybody wants to ask or say? Then shall we end our today's session, Padmaji? Hari Om.